Good morning, everyone. All right. So, can we get 3 down days in a row? It's been a long time. Maybe that's in the cards. There isn't much to stop it from going down. Just drag this over a little bit. You can see this little green area down there. Major support on the S&P futures. And price is pushed a little below those pivots. Not much of something to really stop it. But see what that green area is. Still in a downtrend. The momentum is slowing down a bit. So still, look, you get a big downside draft like that. This is what we call it, creating resistance and the next low, a little bit slowing in momentum. And the next low, closer to the other one, pretty slow, possibly retest reversal. And then another low, and prices pick up a little bit more momentum to the downside. But now we get a deep retracement to resistance where it's now beginning to stall. So no change in trend here. We'll see if it continues down to what could be the destination, at least in the short term. Ideally, it'll go down there today, maybe this morning. We'll see if it does. But should it do that, this is an obvious place. We always look to the left. An obvious place for prices to stall, and because they've dropped so much in the short term, right? If they do get down here, there'll be some stabilization, and then we'll see what happens. So yesterday we talked about, well, what happens after a wide range bar, and we said typically there's a slowing in momentum bar like that one, right? A narrow bodied bar or a narrow range bar. That one, prices were on that support area and they stabilized, and there was this deep retracement, and we talked about how far it might retrace and whether it stays in the lower half of the wide range bar. That would give us some insight as to how much supply was coming and how aggressive sellers are and so on and so forth. And we found out they were more aggressive than I may have originally thought. um, in addition, we'll look at the spiders, but it was a little surprising how aggressive they were first thing in the morning. And I did that little short video at the end of the day on a Q's trade, but I did say that the way things set up yesterday morning, it's easier to see on SPY. We get to look at that. We usually look at it a little later, but this was just not the kind of setup that I go for. This has the overnight trading, but here's what happened yesterday morning at the open. So this was the overnight trading, pre-market. It was consolidating there, like, okay, if we can get above that, you get a little pop. And that did make some sense after a wide range bar that maybe you get a little pop up to the 20 MA. And the message was, right, based on the price action was, oh, most are still in shock from Friday. And as soon as it popped up, it got slammed and it just went down. Bam. And so, it happened really fast. You can see right there, and it just waterfall down. And it's like, okay, there you go. And so in the afternoon on the Qs, on the room there, I started mentioning possibly this could roll over. And on the Qs, it was a better setup because it was still below the open and the prior day's close. And it worked out very nicely to waterfall to the downside late in the day. So prices are up here a little bit. You see where the cursor is essentially unchanged. So a little bounce from overnight. Um, into this little resistance, and we'll see what it does. And so ideally, if I was to get, what I'd like to see happen anyway, because it's going to set up a better opportunity for at least a bounce, would be to have one more down here. But we'll see. Right? That would be set up, would be awesome for put spreads, expiring at the end of the week. And if it went down there real fast, certainly would be looking for. Ultimately, this unfilled gap seems to be an obvious, well, it is an obvious place. Whether it'll get down there or not, we'll see. We haven't seen any retracements yet. So, but still in monitoring mode, right? So far for the open here, nothing of significance is happening since it's about unchanged. I'll get to SPX earlier this morning here. Take a look at there. And so yesterday's strikes were so far away, they didn't even get close. But look, common sense was when that downdraft happened in the first, 15 minutes or so, common sense is like, go look, because it's going to be lower than this. So makes for the true no-brainers. All right, so we're always looking for premium, at least $1, give or take, something that lines up with major support or a whole number. Another thing to take notice of, it closed below 6,000. Now, if you go and look at your open interest expiring in about a month, and it's been that way for a while, the puts and calls are the highest open interest there. So it tends to, it's been going on here for a long time. It tends to act like a rubber leash, so to speak. And it hits the end, it goes too far, and the leash gets pulled back toward that area. So coming down here, if that's going to happen, it'll probably pull it back, and that would make total sense if it was to get down there today. Diamonds or spiders to short, which one is better? Well, this has got room to go down. Good intraday here. So that's our little doodad there. And we know it's unchanged here. So, I mean, from recall my memory, I'll look at the diamonds, but I would say the diamonds just from remembering yesterday's chart. But we'll go look at that. So 58, 80. No, 50, yeah, 58.80. We look to see, does that line up, like I said, with a whole number? Well, not a whole number. Oh, wow. It's in the unfilled gap. That's a no-brainer. Look, if it goes down there to that pivot, it'll be a little scary. But that is like a gift, to be down there, especially if it drops, there'll be premium below that. Common sense. There's so much crazy analysis that goes on out there about markets and trading, with the Gann lines and the Elliott waves and the indicators and so on and so forth. But man, if people would just look to the left and look at an unfilled gap or a pivot, a whole number, something so simple. And it's like, and then you say, well, if it was to go from here down to here, and it did it in 3 days, a significant move percentage-wise into an area of support, would there be some buyers or short covering there? I think so. And so to have a put strike down here, it would take some kind of wild, crazy situation, the unknown. So why think about it? 60.45. This we're never going to know. One of those things, you just don't see it coming. All right, so that's below the 50. It's here. This is the no-brainer because, the fear now is, you know, big, and people start hedging and betting on disaster situations, which do happen. But, you know, here's the void. You got this pivot there, an unfilled gap. So any downside action early on, getting down here, it's like, you know, it ain't going to do that today. All right. Other markets. Q's, little pivot there. It's got room. Not doing much of anything here. Two big down bars. Let's see if we can get another one. Let me look at the diamonds. Let me just look at Dow there. All right, so unfilled gap. Last week we talked about this converging lower pivots and higher pivots and the apex, and here it's broken. Yesterday didn't do much. It's got a void above. I don't know what it's doing here. I have to look at the futures. Let me look at the diamonds. See if we get a little price action there. They're up a little bit. Not a big deal. Kind of a sort of 1, 2, 3. I guess it is. Look, it didn't clean base kind of thing, but a whippy base and a 1, 2, 3. You got virtually nothing to stop it here. So, I would say diamonds, Alex. Now, keep an eye on UNH. You know this, but not everybody knows, the diamonds or Dow is price weighted versus market cap weighted. So the higher price stocks like UNH dragged it down on the news. Can you imagine UNH billing practices that may not be appropriate? Does that happen? Haha. Okay. All right. Dow futures is stabilizing there. Now, if it hangs here for a day and this goes sideways, so we got to look at the futures here. Pivot, pivot, pivot. Little trading range going on. Duplicate that. Down here, we got a little trading range going on. We'll get a little break later this morning, maybe, and a waterfall to the downside. Nasty wide bar on the weekly. And let me get going here. The Russell is on some support, so that would be the least attractive one to be thinking to short. Or I don't know if the market is in a happy mood today, maybe getting above these pivots, maybe something could happen. Interest rates are down significantly. Markets are just hanging here, holding their breath. Well below 4.5. They're into a void. This is not a good thing. Not a good thing. Any news to move things? Yeah, there's some news here. There's some home sales at 10:30. Now, notice last week with the lower interest rates, the home builders didn't go up. That's bearish. There's no Dr. Doom, but look, if interest rates are plummeting like that in the short term, that's a vote for recession, stagflation, tariffs, interest rates going down, tariffs increasing prices. That's not a good scenario. So that's not an opinion, that's a fact. Some gasoline numbers, crude oil numbers coming out at 10:30. Here's crude oil hanging here at $70. And lower part of the wide range bar, we'll see what it does here. If it starts to drop to go down to the next level, or what it's going to do, we don't know. And transports are on support here. So far just in a trading range. But look, if we see interest rates, we see them down. If they continue to go down and these transports start breaking below this level, you could bet you're going to start hearing about recession, you know, or worse. So anyway, enough from me. All yours, Dan.
All right, let's do what we always do. Look at alarms, earnings, and watch list. And there's actually a number of interesting directionals here again today. I didn't do any trades into earnings. Like I said, an alarm go off on AMT. This is an earnings trade, but I have this as a breakout. So put that in a 5-minute window. That's great. AMT, both for directional and put spread. Craig just mentioned interest rates. We got our ETF letter into this yesterday. And look, my up alarm, that's a nice gap breakout. Mr. If you were able to get it, I said our second target on this, second 1/3 target was 265.5, a little bit arbitrary, but it's a big gain. And it actually hit that pre-market. So now we have a third left. And we'll go for the home run near the 200, or just go into trail mode, GBTC. So yeah, Bitcoin's getting whacked today. We're in this in the ETF letter. Just look at this, just big old topping pattern. Hey, Alex, remember you asked me this and Mister where we got into these things? And my answer was we had like 6 or 7 bearish bars. Was it within this green bar from a topping pattern? And so, of course, it could have failed, of course, but good to see that it's working out in our favor. Uh, and look at XLY. Yeah, I know got whacked. Yep, that's consumer discretionary. Yep, those are two. Absolutely. Two consumer barometers right there. Absolutely. Yeah, so those are the alarms. Let's go to earnings now. A number of things getting whacked. So HIMS, let's, ideally, it's at 39 right now. Ideally, it'll keep selling off here to maybe around the 50. But I got that on the list. Let's put that in a window. HIMS, Riot. These were all weakening the other day. We actually had Mara. I think, was it Mara or Hut? We were trying to buy puts yesterday. One of these. I forget which, but yeah, that whole sector is selling off. TEM. So it's a buy setup, but remember, Sam, I remind you of this all the time. The first buy setup following a CLIMO has high odds. You never expect a new high. Doesn't mean it can't, but it could, if it did make a new high, I'd be thinking double top new high plus, but now it's gapping to 59. So just like HIMS, ideally it'll keep selling off another $5 or so, whatever. Chart will tell us when it's ready. And then there's another long idea and put spread idea. TCOM, trip.com. That's an igniting gap from a topping pattern. Gap and right there. So I really don't have any desire of buying it, and I'd like it to sell off more. Chug, nasty gap on a $1.50 stop. Look, that looks like it's going to the graveyard. Unless it gets bought out, that is ugly. KBR. Yeah, it's a bounce on a downtrend, but it's a kind of a short-term climb-o. Zoom. I was considering the 71, shorting the 71 puts, but I I didn't do any. But 77, another one. I'd like it to continue selling off to get the rubber band stretched more. Tricks 65, bullish gap, but no pattern. Maybe a 3D TE put spread. Maybe. I'll put it on, I'll come back and look at it at 10. Mod G, death trend, closing breakdown. It's only opening down 3 pennies. No, so it's down a lot on the 15-minute chart. But this is a chart. Look, 15 daily, weekly, monthly are all steady, nasty selling. So you could go short a 5-minute low if you want, and I'd put a stop over this 15-minute pivot over $7. It's horrible. Okies one, I said we could trade up or down. Now it looks like the down picture is coming to fruition. Put that in a window. I'm running out of windows here. This is not earnings, but just so you know, I posted this CYH half lot over yesterday's high. Nice little, it's technically not a 1, 2, 3 because of that tail, but close enough for me. So a nice gap breakout bottoming pattern. Oh, I got TM there. CYH. Bang. Um, that's nowhere near a turn. Clean. Oh, talked about it yesterday. It's a Climo. It's gapping down, so I wouldn't touch it unless it took out a 30-minute high. HLX, I said if it opened flat, short the low. So I have an alarm at 790. Sibby, gapping down, a call spread idea if there's any premium. Prim 68. It's another bounce in the downtrend. S-back, I put an alarm at 214. See if it can negate the gap down, otherwise no interest. PSA. Also, I have an alarm at 305, otherwise no interest, but it's a bottoming pattern over yesterday's high. GFL, 30-minute high idea. I set an alarm on Sibin. I guess this side bone, 1910. So that's a bullish gap, but excessive. BCYT. I don't see any prints here, but this is a beautiful. Oh, I have it here in the bottom right. This is a beautiful closing bear 1, 2, 3. So if it's not a big gap up or down, then that's a beautiful short. Today's Tuesday under Friday's low. A bottoming pattern. If it can take out yesterday's high, of course, $26. It's a big old gap, but excessive. Zulu Delta gapping down. This could be a gap in snap, which means it's a big gap in the same direction of a Climo. See what that does. Let's see, I got this. That's that Sibin alarm. I got a number of interesting things here. Oh, I typed these out twice. ADAS. I don't see any gaps, but I would love this. I would love this to gap down $10 for a gap and snap. HSIC alarm as a continuation pattern. I don't know if this was earnings or not. I would have loved it if it gapped right here to the 20 MA-ish, and then I'd say buy 10-minute high. But look, now it's gapping here. So that throws the reward to risk off unless you get a controlled pullback. A U-cut. That's a nasty gap, but that's kind of igniting. That's ugly. I got no pattern there. Bullish gap in a downtrend. 30-minute high, put spread idea. VVX. Boom. 925, potential bottoming pattern. 30-minute high, LTC. Bottoming pattern. I have an alarm at 34.90, I think. See if it can recover from the gap down. Otherwise, no interest. BRA. No interest. These are morning ones. Home Depot was green this morning. Now it's down a little bit. There's that AMT I mentioned. Up alarm went off. Looks great. BMO 102.70. There's Bank of Montreal continuation pattern. BNS. All right. I sent in Telegram when it was up here at 51.40, gapping over the red bar. But see, look. So now forget about it. Forget about it. SRE gapping down, no pattern. KDP. SBAC. SBAC. Why did my alarm go off? Oh, that's why. Alarm went off. PEG, 30-minute high. Alpha Sierra, nasty gap, in the middle of no man's land. PNW, nah, it's up too many bars. DXCM. Yeah. Yeah. Market iffy again, so I'm not in a rush. Diamonds of the Horsemen are doing the best right now. But tick actually 900.
Check out fan bottoming. It looks gappy. Oh, it's a ETF.
Yeah, they sell fans to Home Depot.
Big fans.
Yeah. No, it looks like it's an igniting gap from a bottoming pattern. Looks
Yeah.
great.
Let's go.
First global wind energy. Wow, and Trump hates this, he hates windmills. Yeah, let's buy just buy a 5-minute high just in case, it does something stupid. And
Lower.
yeah, good. Man, all right. I'm got alarms going off here. Let me see how spready this. Greg, your AAL short watch. I always have early alarms, but it gives you time to get ready. Well, what's on the diamonds? Yeah, diamonds have a lot of green. Home Depot up 10, helping. 9. Uh, yeah, I mean the green's dwarfing the dwarfing. All right, ECTY. Let me put fan here. VRE alarm, but yeah, AAL, you can shorten it lows. All right, VRE is a mess now. Don't like it. Tim, it's still in the middle of no man's land, so I'm not rushing into that. Triple M. Yeah, my alarm just went off right there at spot 60. Reboot my whenever my TOS freezes up, I gotta shut it down and reopen it. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, our triple M, we have a call spread, so I already got the stop in there. Find on alerts here. Fuck. Oh, now Thinkorswim says your session was closed. Exchange regulations forbid using the same username from multiple places. That's never happened. I always have it open on both computers. Why does the government have to piss us off? Come on. Yeah, my big that's things again the second day in a row with the open. My hardwired computer is acting up. Maybe Comcast knows I'm pissed at them and they're messing with me. My trade station and TOS ain't working on the big computer. Cost. It's a buy setup from a Climo. I saw that over the weekend. Performance problem detected. An error report. Come on. Alarms here. Hey, Charlie India. This was a put spread idea from the weekend letter. Let's see what the juice is. Oh, Don said it. Okay. Yeah, I'm behind here with friggin' tech problems.
LIN is basing. It set an alert at the
Who?
top of the LIN, set an alert above the top of the wide range bar from 218.
Pop up
Chemical
problem.
stock.
Let's CPT. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that on your list on the weekend letter. I mean, your email. Otis, my man. A little sloppier sloppier to me.
Another chemical, LYB. Not as strong as that one, but basing, bottoming. Maybe a put spread if it moves up a little more.
Which one?
LYB.
Live Nation. All right. All right. Yeah, PLD, I'd like it better if it closed like that and then do it tomorrow with a high, but yeah, it's kind of an ascending triangle. All right. All right. I'm behind here. All right, AMT, there was a gap and go, so nothing to do with it now. Our Oki, nah, hymns, big old gap is moving. Let's see. Let's see what the juice bar has here. That would do the Q's at the low. So our Fang, all the Fangs, Tesla tanking. Cisco gapped up and filled the gap in an ugly way. Hymns. Wow, 36s are 55 cents. So that is juicy. I don't need fan. Put Tim's there. This Tim. All right, it's 9:39, but that's a nice bar in 9 minutes. There's plenty of juice for Friday. 55s or 50 cents. I think I'll nibble on that. Filled. Well, regardless, let's gap up negated. EVH, bottoming pattern. CMCSA is my cable company. I can't stand them. Absolute worst customer service in history. AD line over 1200.
Everything going up has been destroyed. Just things bouncing a little bit.
Housing bouncing with yields falling. So if somebody wants to scan that beat up sector, I'm behind. All right, CYH triggered. Platinum bent. AMKR alarm. All right. Oh, my low alarm went off. So we're in this short. Let me. We got stop 20. Let me move the stop. Yeah, of course they are, Patrick. Definitely they are. Well, I don't know about Lowe per se, but Home Depot definitely is. Yeah, it's broad. You got like a Whirlpool in there, all the housing, obviously. Uh, but yeah, let's check Whirlpool up a buck and change. Whirlpool, no pattern, KC. Yeah, be a great 1, 2, 3 closes like this. Absolutely. Let me set an alarm. 220 spot 70. Use new low. Spiders at yesterday's low, but looks like they're going to go through it here. Alarm 220 spot 15. All right. Uh, Hey, Greg, TTD finally found that's a green bar. My alarm went off at 75. I'll have to keep an eye on it as a put spread.
Far enough away. Why not do it if it expires this week?
Well, how do you define far away? That's the
I don't
problem.
know. You know how. I don't. You're the expert.
Well, no,
Just see where there's premium that you're worth considering to do. How far below?
well, it would be yesterday's low, which is 70.
Well, I don't think. Well, this is where opinions come in. I don't think that's far enough away.
Well, that's exactly why I asked you the question. But it's only 20 cents, so it's moot.
Well, did you look to see if there's premium at like something crazy?
I just told you 70 is only 20 cents.
And end of discussion, right?
Right, right. That's why I said it's moot. Xerox. That was your list, Alex. I said I liked it better with yesterday's topping tail. Charlie Mike. Um, yeah, we are short this. Stop. Oh, shoot. There, BNL looks good. CMCL doing nothing, but it's fine. Our mags. Nice mags. Mighty Mo. Stopped yesterday's low. I'm gonna tighten the stop now to this pivot. Right, this one. 5503. Yeah, yeah, how's it 180? I had that as a put spread, I think, right? No, I had Charlie India as a put spread. Aflac. No, I didn't. Yeah, I had an alarm on that. Looks good. Yeah, that'd be a beautiful put spread. I remember looking at it on the weekend. Why didn't it make it to the list? 102.50. That's why, 0 by 20. Go Danny. Um, that's not a potent enough turn for me, but let's set an alarm at 176, particularly with the Q's week, Alex. It's just not a potent turn. And it's not the end of the day. That's the problem. But I'll set an alarm 175.50. Mister doing great. Stop over 280.
Watch net in the coming days, coming into a gap fill, some support. Maybe looks like it could go lower, but when it makes the turn, there should be buyers. It was so strong before. NET.
Emitter hanging in there. Sam, we've been in this for a month and 10 days. Sam, you're Maxwell. If you want to, you know, give yourself a little accolade. Told you spiders looked like they were gonna grind through that low. They did it pretty darn easily. Now IWM's near the low. So yeah, I had a full bearish bias yesterday. So this is playing out the way I wanted it, at least. I'm still hanging in there. Bull rectangle. We're in trail mode. Papa Bravo went against us a little, but it's fine. TTD we know about, and CYH I triggered in the morning. Actually, did it open? But AMT, nice move. BTC, that's great. MA, this was a call spread. Where am I? Was it 570, 575? Midpoint 34. So we're not filled on that. ETR. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bold rectangle, a little 180 continuation pattern, looks good. Toby. Oh, that's a VTR. Adobe. I don't like that at all. Pull down from square top. All right, the Charlie India was a put spread, but doubt got filled. SMCI was a call spread. There's no way that got filled. Well, actually, on this bounce, um, down that might have gotten filled on the bounce there yesterday because it exceeded the entry, so you could have. And Twilio is over yesterday's high as a put spread, but see, still, this is not a potent turn yet. That is not potent. Those are three sideways bars after a nasty gap. So what would be ideal is a downside shakeout.
Let's watch this one for a dip. Goosehead Insurance, GSHD earnings gap up out of a bottom.
GS who?
GSHD. Looks like there's no options on it. Oh, wait a minute. Why do I have this sorted? Oh, I have. Why aren't the puts filling in?
Yeah, I like it. Alex, sure. Do it right here. Yeah, bear 1, 2, 3. Sure. Yeah, let's do it. Yep, that's a 1, 2, 3 on a downtrend under the 2050. Yeah. And we'll check puts also if they're liquid. They're too spreading. No, I mean, I don't care about no weeklies for directional, but I can't get a call spread. No, I can't get a $10 stop. See if there's something better here. Yeah. $86.55.
Crude oil dropping. Oh, ES is dropping. It hasn't reached that pivot yet. I think it'll continue to drop. I mean, are you posting that you who's typing there?
Oh,
Like Sam. I mean, long ES? You're gonna go long ES or you are? I don't know. Confusing. You only gave two numbers. Oh, ES stock.
that's prior high and the market's weak. You're you're braver than I, Sam. Sam, your MXL low alarm.
Cues are almost down to that pivot. I'm gonna get that third wider bar. We need a tick extreme. There was one tick extreme at the end of the day yesterday.
Yeah, even though we get a nice tradable day trade there, I don't think that's going to be the final low myself. I think we're coming to the gap. So that's a that's an ugly breakout failure from all-time highs.
What a suck job that was.
Bam. That's the 5-minute high I gave. 1539.
Think that moving average is going to stop it? I think, Sam, you better check Copilot to see if the 20 MA on the weekly, the 100 on the daily is going to stop this decline. So at least the bad news coming out. You saw Trump yesterday saying tariffs are coming. They're showing it again, the replay from yesterday. Tariffs are coming and they're on schedule and they're going to happen. So he's removing the uncertainty out of anything, and these markets go down to support, get it over with.
Mm-hmm.
More information is coming out on this gold thing, Dan, that your friend told us about.
Yeah, Jim Killing.
I don't know if you read the story. What you've been saying is that
No.
so Fort Knox gold, whatever tons of gold they have there, it's valued at like $42 an ounce, I guess, whatever the measurement is. And then he's talking about, well, gold is at $3,000. What if they valued it at $3,000? And now the US government has X gazillion dollars of value in gold. And what are they going to do with that? All that money, as to sell it, pay down the debt, do who knows what. Now they're talking about gold being moved from the UK to the US. So it's an interesting scenario. Yeah. Read this. Did I close it? Yeah, read this. The news is that Musk is going to go to Fort Knox and check to make sure the gold is really there.
I thought I heard somebody went already and they already are missing bars.
I didn't read that.
The price.
That article says that since 1940 something, there's only been 3 visits to there to check.
Like, how idiotic is that?
I think you're right, Steve. It says it in the article. The last that guy that just dropped from the Senate because he's half dead already. I forget his name, the Republican. Yeah. Apple's starting to give it up, Dan. Maybe you got a call spread candidate there by the end of the day.
All right. Our FANG puts are doing good. Netflix tank. All the things are tanking. Nice. Greg, and you didn't like my meta short. Shame on you. That
I
was my.
didn't say I didn't like it. What I said was, you're picking the strongest stock out there, and I agreed it looked like it'd go down. But if you're wrong, it's going to be like, okay, master trader assholes, pick the strongest ones, and now it bit you in the face. Why didn't you pick something in a downtrend?
Well, because we trade patterns. So it's an igniting gap from a 180, big old void, two, three bearish topping tails at the 20, closing breakdown. Uh, well, Hims gave it up more. And let's cover another third of your Maxwell.
LU, put in a thumbnail, it's filling a gap here onto support. It's been strong.
Lucent?
Not LU, LEU. Qs are almost on top of that February pivot. There's two pivots down there. And no tick extreme, which is probably coming soon.
It's interesting. The market's tanking. And I just had two up alarms go off on our two longs.
I don't know what it's called, Alex. LEU. Citrus Energy.
Cues and spiders hourly bar. Is a big old wide range one. Doing well. That was a nice gap reversal we did.